The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
At the Salvation Army, a shelter isn't just a place to rest. It's a chance to shed layers, let loose, and finally let it go. With your gift, a warm bed is just the beginning. It's the first night of a new day. When our homeless neighbors feel safe enough to close their eyes, they can see the way forward.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
They have to score here. We're getting underway for it. And Ave walk-off home run.
Here's a shot to the right side.
This is shaping up to be a
Strike outside, 2-1.
NAIA opening round coverage here live on SCSN. Lorenzo Robinson here, and this should be a tremendous matchup between the Ave Maria Gyrenes and the Loyola Wolfpack. These two teams met yesterday, Ave Maria winning the necessary game in order to force the winner-take-all penultimate championship game here on opening round Thursday. Loyola Wolfpack, they won their first two games back-to-back. The first one over the Oakland City Mighty Oaks. The second one against the Reinhardt Eagles. Meanwhile, Ave Maria, they had to run a gauntlet in order to get to this spot. After losing that initial game against Reinhardt, they had an elimination matchup against Oakland City, a game that goes 14 innings and resulted in a victory for Ave Maria, courtesy of a home run from this man right here, Jesus Gonzalez. Jesus Gonzalez has a case for being one of the very best players here over the course of this entire week during the opening round. He went 5 for 6 in that game against Oakland City with 2 long home runs. And this one, a chopper, a ground ball, scooped up, the throw in time for out number 1. And that's how we're going to start things off here. The Gyrenes trying to build off of the offensive momentum that they have built over the course of these past few days, leading up to their explosion against the Reinhardt Eagles, scoring 11 runs against Reinhardt to win that one. And someone who was late arriving to the offensive showcase but has come back just in time for Ave Maria, Tanner Kelly. He really got his bat going yesterday for Ave Maria. And if you were able to tune into our games yesterday, you saw what a locked-in Kelly at the plate means for the Gyrenes. It takes their offense to another level. Tanner Kelly joined Jesus Gonzalez on the All-Sun Conference first team. That 1-2 punch at the top of the Gyrene lineup. They've been effective all year long, but making their mark here in Waleska. Kelly pops this one up in the center field. That's Romero underneath it, and he will corral it for Loyola and out number 2. So a much different start to the game for Ave Maria than the one that they had yesterday. In that first inning, Ave Maria, they were able to score 3 runs against Loyola, really able to battle their way in that game. Now, the Wolfpack, they started the game off with a 5 spot. So a major offensive showcase between those two teams in the first. So far, we are not seeing that from the Wolfpack. Count now standing at 0-1. The pitch, low, ball number 1. The man on the mound tasked with slowing down this hot Ave Maria lineup, Cole Bordes. Bordes deals. It's low. It's going to be ball number 2. And the Gyrenes were able to fight their way back against the Loyola Wolfpack yesterday. Found a way to win that game. Led by a tremendous offensive showcase. Jones, a ground ball, throw made in time, out number 3. Quick work made of the Ave Maria lineup. When we come back, we're going to see if the Loyola Wolfpack are able to get on the board first.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
NAIA opening round coverage live on SCSN. Lorenzo Robinson here, bringing you all of the action here live from Ken White Field. We're going to see Brandon Mooney come up to the plate for Loyola for the first time today. And I spoke a little bit about what Jesus Gonzalez has been able to do over the course of his time here in Waleska. But Brandon Mooney absolutely deserves a ton of credit for what he's been able to do as well. He's stepped up on numerous occasions for this Loyola squad. Should be a very interesting matchup with him going up against the man on the mound for the Gyrenes, Owen Johnson. Owen Johnson, the Port Huron, Michigan native, formerly of Concordia University in Michigan, transferring over to the Gyrenes, and he's been effective. 4.73 ERA with a 4-3 record. It's the count now standing at 2-2. Johnson deals. Mooney pops it up. It goes foul over the net. One thing that we were able to see between these two teams, again, an offensive explosion in the first inning. They were able to get their bats working and in a hurry. Swing and miss by Brandon Mooney. That's going to be strike number 3 and out number 1. And through just a closer to one complete inning of play, we're seeing the pitchers really take control of the game, and the offensive explosion that we saw in the first inning last game does not seem likely. Of course, Loyola still has 2 outs to work with Miles Liggins coming up to the plate. And Liggins, he's found it to be a bit of a struggle here during the opening round. Has not been very effective offensively at the plate. Wolfpack in need of him to get going. Count now standing at 2-0. The pitcher for Ave Maria, Owen Johnson, coming off of a decision victory over the Reinhardt Eagles. Pitched in 1 2/3 of an inning. Really came in and helped slow down that Reinhardt lineup. We saw the coaching staff for Ave Maria really show a lot of faith and trust in Owen Johnson in order to be able to get the job done. Johnson's pitch outside and off the plate. That brings us a full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. An early battle here between Liggins and Johnson. Here comes the payoff. Liggins pops it up into the air. Foul ball right over that Ave Maria dugout. Count still full. That pitch is low in the dirt. Ball number 4. Miles Liggins is going to make his way to first. One man on for the Wolfpack as Garrett Felix comes up to the plate.
Now batting number 15, Garrett Felix.
Garrett Felix was a second team All SSAC team member. He's had some big time moments for Loyola over the course of this week. As we see Miles Liggins over there at first, and Loyola, a team that's very aggressive on the base paths. Expect to see some gamesmanship there. That pitch goes for a ball. Loyola, they entered the opening round on an upswing. They were able to knock off William Carey in their conference championship game. William Carey, the favorite entering that matchup. Loyola able to take that game, and that provided them with a lot of confidence as this gets popped up into the air, and it will drop into shallow right field. Felix is safe at first, and we see at third another runner safe. Miles Liggins getting himself in the scoring position, in a threatening position. Runners at the corners for the Loyola Wolfpack. Garrett Felix makes a play at the plate. Miles Liggins showing off some of the wheels, making his way to third. And now we'll see Cole Romero for the first time for Loyola. Romero in the game against Ave Maria yesterday, he was not able to record a hit. He has been pretty quiet at the plate for the Wolfpack. Of course, they know what he's capable of. He was also a first-team all-conference selection, so someone who's been consistently excellent for Loyola over the course of this year, as we're going to see Felix make his way into scoring position. He's safe at second. 2 runners in scoring position for the Wolfpack, and prime time positioning to put a run on the board. They're trying to strike first. Loyola had a fast start against Ave Maria in that game yesterday. We'll see if they're able to do so yet again. Johnson, the pitch, low, ball number 2. Last season in the NAIA opening round, Loyola lost to St. Francis to end their season, 1 game away from an NAIA opening round championship appearance. Now in Waleska trying to finish the job. Romero tapping this one back into the wall. Goes foul. Count is knotted up at 2 apiece. Meanwhile, Ave Maria found their season end in the Sun Conference tournament a year ago. A return to the NAIA opening round for the Gyrenes as Cole Romero swings and misses for strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Owen Johnson. This is the Owen Johnson that we saw come in and limit this Reinhardt lineup in his game yesterday, showing that it's much of the same for him on the mound. We're going to see Manson come up to the plate for Loyola. Manson, a 5'11" senior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We're going to have a mound visit taking place between pitcher and catcher for Ave Maria. Cabeza, the catcher, going to have a conversation with Owen Johnson, and those are the type of conversations that are likely just aiming to get your pitcher refocused on the task at hand. You want to make sure that everyone is abreast and up to speed with what's getting ready to take place, and you really want your pitcher to try to lock in here, especially with 2 runners in scoring position. If you give up something, anything, a base hit down the middle, something down the line, that can result in runs for Loyola. Obviously, Landon Manson trying his best to put some early pressure on the Gyrenes. That pitch from Johnson going to be called a strike. Count is now 2-1. A ground ball. The throw by Kelly in time for out number 3. That will retire the side. Owen Johnson and the Gyrenes survive that half inning and leave 2 runners stranded. Still deadlocked, no run scored.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family?
Leading off for the Gyrenes, number 38, Kyle Majdij.
Majdij at the plate for the Ave Maria Gyrenes. He hit a home run yesterday. Has found some success at the plate. And really everyone for Ave Maria has found their way over the course of this week. And you can tell that they're starting to get very comfortable at the plate on this field as we see Majdij again contributing for his team. Gets on board with the leadoff single. And this is the danger zone when you talk about facing off against this Ave Maria squad right now. Anytime they're able to get a man on base, they've been really good about scoring in those situations. Michael Kelly now at the plate for Ave Maria, the native of Libertyville, Illinois, formerly of Libertyville High School. He lays down a bunt attempt here. Majdij will be thrown out at second. That was a tremendous play there by the backstop, Drew Lee. Drew Lee, a Gold Glove recipient for Loyola, stepping up. If you're a fan of the Wolfpack, you're used to seeing Lee make plays just like that one. Great job by the Wolfpack and Lee in order to get that lead runner out. Kelly able to reach by way of a fielder's choice. And we'll see the first baseman, Crawford, come up to the plate for Ave Maria. Crawford fouls this one off. But Ave Maria entered this opening round a record just 2 wins above 500. There were some questions about their legitimacy and why they were selected to participate here in the opening round. Is this another ground ball? Chance for a double play. 6, 4, 3. They will turn 2 and retire the side. Tremendous defensive play by the Wolfpack. Still scoreless here in Waleska.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
NCAA opening round coverage live on SCSN. Lorenzo Robinson here giving you all the latest coverage. So we're going to see which team will emerge from the NCAA opening rounds Waleska bracket. You see there the designated hitter Marcus Steen getting hit by that pitch from Owen Johnson. He's going to take the free base. He's now at first. So Loyola able to get a man on. That man is at 1. We're going to see Drew Lee, the backstop, come up to the plate for the first time since his tremendous defensive play in the last half inning. This bunt attempt popped up straight into the air and it goes over the net foul. Drew Lee received a Gold Glove for his efforts defensively this year, but it's been what he's been able to do at the plate that has absolutely lifted Loyola to this scene, being able to make it into the NCAA opening round championship series. You see there a pick attempt there, trying to catch Steen off the bag. Drew Lee had a pair of singles last night against Ave Maria. We're going to see Steen. He's going. He's making his way to second. And he's going to get there. He's now in scoring position for Loyola. They're going to try to bring him on. However, Drew Lee will face an 0-2 count, firmly behind. Owen Johnson just trying to record this next strike. Want to get one out in the bank. Ground ball. It's scooped up by Kelly. The throw is made, but Crawford fumbles it at first. Lee is safe at first. Steen is safe at third. The Loyola Wolfpack have runners at the corners after that error from Crawford. Drew Lee was able to get himself on a major situation brewing here in the bottom of the second inning.
Now batting number 3, Anthony Fernandez.
Anthony Fernandez coming up to the plate for the first time today for Loyola. Yesterday, Fernandez entered the game as a pinch hitter for Loyola. Went 0 for 2 during that contest. Watches this one for ball number 2. Pinch runner in the game, Grant LaBelle, junior from Easton, Maryland. Again, these two teams, they've been able to find ways to battle back, as we're going to see this one get popped up deep into the air. It's going back, but it has warning track power. It will be caught for the Gyrenes. Out number 1. But despite that out, Loyola able to get themselves on the board.
Now batting number 10,
Sac fly from
Jackson
Fernandez
Barat.
allows Steen to score. It is now 1-0 in favor of the Wolfpack. Big attempt here at first, but more of a check-in, just trying to make sure that he stays comfortable over there. 1 man on for Loyola, 1 out on the board. Back to the top of the batting order we will go after we get this AB from Surratt. Much different place than we were in yesterday. We flip back to the top of the batting order, I believe within the same inning for Loyola yesterday. So far, a much different game, but the Wolfpack able to string together a run and strike first blood in this one. Owen Johnson's pitch goes for a strike. Barat, the third baseman, was not able to make his presence felt at the plate in the game against Ave Maria yesterday. 0 for 3 as he foul tips this one. Count is now 2-2. 2-2 count. Pitch from Johnson. And an easily stolen base there for Loyola. So now a runner in scoring position for the Wolfpack and a full count at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff incoming from Johnson. Here it is. The ground ball is ripped into right field. It will not get to right field. A tremendous defensive play there for Ave Maria. That's the second baseman, Michael Kelly. He scooped that one up. It looked like it was going to leak into right field.
Now batting
Makes a
number
nice play
24,
from depth
Brandon
and
Mooney.
delivers a perfect toss. 2 outs now on the board, and now we're back to the top of the Loyola batting order. Brandon Mooney returning to the plate. And he fouls this one off. Struck out in his first plate appearance, one of Johnson's 2 strikeouts so far through 1 2/3 of an inning. Mooney was incredibly productive for Loyola against both Reinhardt and Oakland City at the plate. Yesterday against Ave Maria, he recorded a single hit. We'll see if he can pick up some plate momentum. Mooney pops this one up. It's going back. It drops into left center field. One run will score for the Wolfpack, and Brandon Mooney is safe at second. That's going to be an RBI double from Brandon Mooney, and right on cue, steps up yet again for Loyola. Brandon Mooney has been able to make plays just like that one all weekend long.
Now batting number 33, Miles Liggins.
This has been a nice showcase for him, the very talented player for this Wolfpack squad. Mooney was a first-team all-conference selection, showing you just why there. Miles Liggins returning to the plate for Loyola. Still has to try to get going for his team. He was walked in his first plate appearance. Liggins a ground ball, and that's going to escape Tanner Kelly. And another run will score for Loyola. Miles Liggins stepping up, getting himself going. Brandon Mooney with the slide in the home. 3-0, Wolfpack. RBI single for Miles Liggins. There's going to be a mound visit. They're going to take a break, and we're going to take a break as well. Wolfpack ahead, 3-0.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Welcome back to Ken Whitefield here live on SESN. After that quick mound conference, Owen Johnson remains on the mound for Ave Maria with Garrett Felix coming up to bat. Miles Liggins just recorded an RBI single, allowing Loyola to pick up some more runs and extend their newfound advantage over the Gyrenes. This one by Felix is going to go to Kelly, and it stepped on the bag at 2 in time for out number 3. That's going to retire the side. Loyola, they strike first. They're out in front. 3 runs to none.
Favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at SESNsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe,
NAIA opening round coverage here live on NCSN. The Loyola Wolfpack currently ahead, going up against the Ave Maria Gyrenes. The Wolfpack, the 2 seed, entering the NAIA opening round. Ave Maria, the 4 seed. So far, the Wolfpack trying to punch their ticket to Lewiston, but they must make it through Ave Maria today. Ave Maria, very resilient squad. We've seen that this season. After the type of teams that they had to face off against on their schedule. And if you want to know how a 27-25 team makes it to the World Series, you're able to defeat the defending champs in Hope International as Cabeza swings and misses for strike 2. But you get victories against the defending champion Hope International. You win against Kaiser, Southeastern, Weber, just stacking quality wins. Cabeza pops it up. It's going to be retrieved. That's the right fielder, Liggins, making the grab for out number 1.
Now batting number 1, Jimmy Coffey.
Jimmy Coffey, the third baseman, coming up to the plate. Coffey, the senior from Oak Brook, Illinois, formerly of Benet Academy. Coffey pops this one up. Liggins showing off the leather there. Another grab. That's back-to-back impressive defensive plays from Miles Liggins, and that's coming on the heels of his big-time RBI single that allowed Loyola to extend their lead. So we've seen Miles Liggins be very busy over these past few plays. 2 outs now on the board. Kyle Van Leer coming up to the plate for Ave Maria. And Van Leer can be looked at as a hero for what he did yesterday. But this won't be as heroic. Tremendous throw. It's made in time. Loyola retires the side. They make quick work of the Gyrenes. 3-0. Wolfpack.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
NAIA opening round coverage live here on SCSN. Lorenzo Robinson here with a very special guest. It's Cole Romero, lines one right to Tanner Kelly, who delivers a throw in time for out number 1. But I'm here with a very special guest, the producer over the course of this week. I'd like him to introduce himself.
Great to be here today. It's a great day for some baseball. 2 exciting teams, been competing all week against each other.
Matt here is a member of Reinhardt's baseball team. And someone that figures to be a fixture for their team for years to come. This week he decided to help us out on the board, so definitely much appreciated.
Anytime, anything for my team. I love all these boys. It was heartbreaking yesterday, seeing all the sad faces. And mostly the season just being over. Watching them compete was one of the most fun things of the year, and I don't get that opportunity anymore. Not for this year, at least.
And the end is always bittersweet. I get a little bit of personal experience during my time as an athlete. It's never fun when it ends. You start to reminisce about everything, and that usually starts to cheer you up when you start to think about the good times. And those are memories that teams are going to have forever. As we had a lot of teams see their season come to an end over the course of this week. A lot of seniors playing some of their last ball, so always thinking about them. This one, another one that drops right in front of Tanner Kelly, and another nice throw over the first for out number 2. 2 consecutive ground outs forced by Owen Johnson. Steen, the DH, coming back up to the plate. He was
now batting number 20,
hit by a
Marcus
pitch
Steen.
the last time that he came up. Owen Johnson hoping to have a real battle against him. Now, if you're Ave Maria, Matt, I'm going to ask you a question here. What are you thinking right now, being down 3 runs to none? This one popped up into the air. It's going to drop into left center field. That's Steen. Steen headed to second. Steen is safe in scoring position with the extra base hit.
Well, now if I'm Ave Maria, I'm kind of thinking it's early in the game. We have time to come back, but what are we going to do to really find out what Loyola is doing, and how are we going to overcome their pitching? How are we going to find ways to get these runs in to essentially give us a shot to fight for Lewiston?
Ave Maria, they've done a nice job of being able to string runs together, but right now in trouble. That one was thrown right into the back of Drew Lee. Lee is able to evade a tag. He's now in scoring position. That was Steen able to score. Loyola potentially adding a run to their total, but are we going to have a conversation about that one? They're going to give them the run, so Loyola now ahead 4 runs to none against Ave Maria. As they tend to the injured Jyrene, we'll take a quick break.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch.
Opening round coverage live on SCSN.
Now batting number 3, Anthony
Return
Fernandez.
to play as there was some conversation occurring. Jyrene's one of their coaches accompanying the infield over there at first base. We get an official rule on the scoring on that play. It's going to officially be called an error. Jyrene's right now in trouble, 4 runs to none, but this isn't the first time over the course of this week that Ave Maria has put themselves in a spot where they may be looked at as behind the 8 ball. Johnson with the pitch a bit high, ball number 3. Fernandez had a sac fly in his last plate appearance. That one's going to go for ball number 4. He's going to make his way to first.
Let's go, Jack. Your turn, kid.
Barat, the third baseman,
Now
coming
batting
up to
number
the
10,
plate.
Jackson Barat.
Barat back at the plate for Loyola. One low, ball number 1. There is one man on for the Wolfpack. That runner is in scoring position. Make that 2 men on after that walk drew by Fernandez. We saw there, wow, it looks like another error, very costly for the Gyrenes. That's going to be the 3rd error of the game for Ave Maria. It seemed like they had Fernandez caught in a pickle. They were going for a double steal. Fernandez was in between a rock and a hard place, but the ball is unable to be controlled by Crawford. The score is now 5-0 in favor of Loyola. This one tipped off by Barat and foul. So the Wolfpack ahead 5-0 against Ave Maria. It's exactly where they were yesterday. They held a 5-0 run against the Gyrenes. They fought their way back in that one. We're going to see if they have one last blow, one last fight, one last resilient match left in them. Is another comeback in store for the Gyrenes. We will see. This one drops for Loyola. Barat, a base hit that brings in another run. RBI single. Loyola now ahead 6-0 over the Gyrenes. RBI single coming up as the Wolfpack just continue to add insurance and put even more pressure on Ave Maria. They have the bats working so far in this game. 6 runs scored, 6 hits on the board. But as we've seen all throughout this week here in Waleska, errors really making a tremendous difference between the two teams. Loyola, so far, no errors on the board. Ave Maria, 3 errors and a passed ball. Also, a batter was hit by a pitch earlier in this game. It was Steen in the 2nd inning. And those are the kind of mistakes that can result in you missing your chance to make it in Lewiston. We saw yesterday, Reinhardt, a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes that led to Ave Maria taking control of that game. Also, a critical error from Oakland City resulted in Ave Maria eliminating them. So a 2-1 count, back to the top of the batting order we go as Brandon Mooney returns to the plate, 1 for 2 on the day. Ave Maria's dugout shouting out words of encouragement for Owen Johnson as he looks to get out of this inning. Goes for the pick attempt. It will be successful. He catches Barat off the bag, and that is going to retire the side. Gyrene's in trouble. Wolfpack in control.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign.
And welcome back to Waleska, Georgia. Here at Ken White Field, the Wolfpack up by 6 against Gyrene. Let me ask you, Lorenzo, being down 6-0 in the bottom of the third, how do you think these Gyrenes are going to come back and be able to defeat this Loyola squad?
If anything shows from what we've seen over the course of this past week and being able to watch Ave Maria, we know that Ave Maria is very resilient. You see there, Bordet able to report the strikeout against Gonzalez, but if we know anything, we know how resilient Ave Maria is. We know that they're not a team that's just going to lay down when they see a deficit. They're going to figure out a way to continue to fight and continue to give themselves chances. Now, of course, that's easier said than done going up against a team in Loyola that appears to be as locked in as anyone can be with a trip to Lewiston on the line. But I know for a fact that Ave Maria, they're going to give everything they have until that final out. Kelly pops this one up into the air, and it's going to be Romero who makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting number 20, Dakota Jones.
2 quick outs on the board. Dakota Jones now coming up to the plate. Dakota Jones has had his moments for Ave Maria over the course of this week. Stepped up on a variety of occasions. Now Bordes looks to retire the side. Count is 2-0. So far, this is a much different Gyrene squad than the one that we saw show up in their victories over Oakland City, Reinhardt, and Loyola. Ave Maria, they've already ran the gauntlet through the entire tournament. Just one more win, and now they get a man on base here. That's going to be Jones. After the walk, there's a man on. Kyle Majdeej
Now batting number 38,
at the plate.
Kyle Majdeej.
Majdeej had a single earlier today. It was good for Ave Maria to see him get going yesterday. He wants to keep that momentum going for his team. Gyrene's in need of a 2-out rally, and you don't need to try to get it all at once. There's 6 runs on the board. You don't want to just try to say, hey, we're going to have a 6-run inning. Sometimes it's just a steady creep back into the conversation. It may be a run here, maybe 2 runs here, but they are in need of something, anything, to build some momentum. Bordes eyeing. Bordes dealing. Majdeej thought about swinging. Instead, he pulls back. Ball 1. And at first, that's Jones. Majdeej fouls that one off. Ave Maria trying to become one of the latest Cinderella stories to make it to the NAIA World Series. Jones trying to steal. Did he get there? Yes, he did. The ball falls out of the glove of Brandon Mooney. Jones is now in scoring position at second. Majdeech now facing a 2-2 count.
Go, Cole, you got a kid.
The pitch. Swing and miss for strike number 3 and out number 3. That's going to retire the side. Bordez continues his strong showing. Loyola is still way out in front.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safety.
Slide to the left, slide to the right. Now cool down. Have a good time.
NCAA opening round coverage here live on SCSN. Right now, the Loyola Wolfpack way out in front against the Ave Maria Gyrenes. 6 runs to none. That is your Owen Johnson, who remains on the mound for Ave Maria. What are you thinking here as you try to give your team a chance as this game goes on?
You know, I'm just trying to keep my composure, throw strikes in, give my team reasonable plays to make. You know, it's not all going to happen in an instant, but if we don't figure something out quick, we're going to quickly fall into a hole we can't dig ourselves out of.
That's absolutely correct as Brandon Mooney returns to the plate for Loyola. Mooney lifts one into center field, going back, and it will be caught as a nice catch by Van Leer out there in center field. Mooney is going to return to the dugout, out number 1. Miles Liggins, the right fielder, coming up to the plate. His last plate appearance resulted in a hit, which was, again, a very welcome sight for fans of the Wolfpack. Miles Liggins has had some struggles over the course of this opening round offensively. It was a lot better for them at various points throughout the year.
A lot of playoff jitters. All these guys, you know, you can see a lot of teams tensing up. You might have seen it with Reinhardt a time or two. Most of these teams tensing up, getting the playoff jitters. It's a big stage, big competition. And, you know, when the emotions rise, you got to stay calm.
Ground ball, throw to first. He is safe. He is safe. Owen Johnson was not able to step on the bag in time. Miles Liggins legging out an infield single, his second hit of the ball game. But I didn't mean to interrupt your thought, though. You go ahead.
No worries. Just playoff jitters, you know. These guys have to deal with the pressure of the season, the pressure of the regular season, staying in shape, having that mental aspect of it all, you know, grades. It's a lot of things combined, and, you know, all of that coming down to playoff games where it really matters, where, you know, every game, every pitch essentially could determine your fate.
And I love it when you talk about that, because there is something to be said about meeting the moment. Now, moments happen throughout games as Crawford steps on one. The throw to 2 is in time. That's going to retire the side. Great job there by the Gyrenes getting out of the inning quick. Loyola still ahead, 6-0.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
NAIA opening round coverage live on SESN. The Loyola Wolfpack out in front against the Ave Maria Gyrenes. The score is 6-0. And immediately Michael Kelly getting himself on board, rounding first. Thought about heading to second, thinks better of it. He will stay safely at first base. Now, Miles Kelly had a game a few days ago where he went 0 for 6 at the plate. It came up against Oakland City.
13,
and ever since that game, he's been a different player. He had multiple hits in the matchup against Reinhardt. Also had multiple hits against Loyola yesterday. And now Michael Kelly starting off 1 for 2 here against the Wolfpack. Bordez remains on the mound here in the top of the 5th inning. That pitch a strike as we see Jordan Crawford at the plate. First baseman is 0 for 1 so far in this game. Ground ball into right field. Liggins scoops it up. Crawford safe at first. Kelly safe at second. 2 men on for the Gyrenes. All of a sudden, they have a chance to make something happen here offensively and score their first runs of the game. Sebastian Cabeza, the backstop, is now at the plate, 0 for 1 so far in this game. Has notched a home run here in the NAIA opening round. Ave Maria, they need him to make something happen here.
There's that momentum swing you see time and time again. You see the Gyrenes slowly starting to come back and see some life in them, finally getting runners on base, starting with a quick ball, finally getting in the pitcher's brain a little bit, causing a meeting on the mound.
Stay here over the course of this meeting and talk a little bit about what this would mean for Loyola. And Loyola, they very nearly punched their ticket to Lewiston yesterday. They had their chances against the Gyrenes to win it. So your mindset entering this game, winner take all, especially after what happened yesterday, what should it be?
Well, if you're the Loyola team, my mindset is, hey, we're the big dogs in it now. We got the number 5 host out. You know, let's stay us. Let's stay confident. Let's play our game. But let's not back down. Let's get these guys out quick and easy, and let's go win us a Lewiston.
Absolutely, and Lewiston should be at the forefront of everyone's mind. That should be the only thing that they're thinking about right now is punching a ticket to the World Series, and they did a nice job, as you said, being able to stand the test of time and emerge as the top seed remaining here in the Waleska bracket. They entered into the opening round off of that upset victory over William Carey, so they held a lot of momentum coming in, and this bunch has done nothing but step up and make plays ever since. Meanwhile, Ave Maria, 2 runners on. This one a chopper that will bounce foul. Those are always close, 1-2 count. So after a brief stoppage, we're set to resume play. Bordez eyeing Kelly, now eyes back at the plate. He's going to check in with Kelly just to make sure that he remains comfortable in his post over there at second. A lot of speedy, athletic base runners on the field for the Gyrenes. That pitch goes for ball number 2. Count knotted up at 2 apiece. Ave Maria in need of something. Cabeza lifts this one deep out to the outfield, and it's going to be retrieved by Loyola. Down goes Cabeza, out number 1 on the board. That looked like a sure, dangerous shot there. Unfortunately, Cabeza not able to get that last little bit of distance he needed to pick up a 3-run homer.
Now batting number 1, Jimmy Coffey.
Still 2 men on, 1 runner in scoring position as Jimmy Coffey comes up to the plate. Strike there, thrown by Bordez. Bordez has 2 strikeouts in this game so far. This one is going to be hit and dropped into left field. 1 run coming home for the Gyrenes, and it will score. That is Michael Kelly, who scores the first run of the game for Ave Maria by way of a Jimmy Coffey RBI single.
You see a perfectly executed slash bunt right there. I mean, he squares up, pulls back, pulls the trigger, and just pokes it out there, doing the job, getting a run in, getting a little more momentum for the Gyrenes.
Absolutely, but that's a nice start, right? That's getting something on the board. You're not going to get blank, so that's nice. You know that you can get one out there. And with what they've shown over the course of this week, you know that that will likely not be the only run that they score. At least that's what fans of the Gyrenes are hoping for. Now, if you're a fan of Loyola, you're probably cursing my name for even mentioning that as an option. Van Leer knocks this one over down the third base line and foul. So 6-1 Wolfpack. They're still out in front.
Two on, 1 away.
Popped up, foul over the net. Ave Maria, they've been scorching hot offensively over the course of this winning streak that they've built here in the opening round. today. Not a bad offensive performance per se, but just not the type of performance that they've been having. As this one, a chance to turn 2, 5, 4. They will not turn 2. It will just be a throwout over at 2. And now there's going to be a conversation between the umpires, and they're going to discuss a call here. We'll see what gets decided, as there'll be a conference over in the infield. And I know you spoke about players feeling pressure, but I mean, umpires feel it too. They know that they hold some futures and some dreams and hopes in their hands. That definitely has to be something that weighs on them.
Absolutely. They're always thinking about making the perfect calls, and, you know, one umpire makes a call that one team's side doesn't agree with, and they're getting heckled, and, you know, they're getting the book thrown at them. It really a strive for perfection being an umpire as well in these playoff games.
Absolutely. As an umpire, you want to try to put your best foot forward as well, and you don't want to make fans upset, but sometimes fans are going to be fans, right? Now you get a pitch that's thrown outside the zone, and you know it's outside the zone as an umpire. You call it a ball, and then one team's fans will be like, great call, that's correct, and the other one will be like, wow, I can't believe you missed that strike. So you'll never truly win with everyone, as we have a rather long infield conference between the umpires, and the final decision will be the side is retired. The Ave Maria side is retired. We're going to change sides here. Loyola still clinging to their lead. Score 6-1.
Favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
NCAA opening round coverage live here on SESN. Right now, the Ave Maria Gyrenes trying to find their way back into this ball game. The score is 6-1 in favor of Loyola. Ave Maria, they were able to put a run on the board there in that last half inning before the side was retired. Should that give them some confidence going forward, or?
Absolutely. I think they should be very confident going into these next few innings. Fouled up in a way. Yeah, they should definitely have some confidence, you know. Still early in the ball game, always able to make things happen in tight times. They still have a good bit to work with. If these guys just stay on their game, playing the small ball, doing the little things right, I think they still have a shot to come and maybe even tie it up, take the game, who knows?
And you're absolutely correct in the fact of the matter is that Ave Maria has already shown us what they're capable of doing, how they can battle their way back despite being down or despite trailing and not having the best start to a game. They always seem to find their way right in the mix towards the end of it. So it may not be readily apparent of how they're going to do it, but you know that they have something up their sleeve. And Johnson's pitch is inside as we get another look at Cole Romero. Cole Romero, no hit so far. It's been a struggle for him at the plate over these last few games.
Fouls it off 2-2.
For a guy who earned some all-conference recognition from his team, they would love to see him start to make things happen at the plate, really put his finger on the pulse of this game. And that's going to be strike number 3. Down goes Cole Romero. He's now 0 for 3 on the day. His struggles will continue. 1 out now on the board.
Now
with
batting
Manson
number 9,
coming up to the plate.
Go 9.
Back to Romero, you see the indecisiveness, and that can just fool your whole at-bat right there.
And that indecisiveness likely built over these last few games after not really having the type of games that he would otherwise like to have. And the human nature after that is start to look in the mirror and question yourself. Wonder, what are you doing wrong? Is there something you have to change? And maybe Romero's seeing a little bit of that right now.
Absolutely. You're seeing the mental game of the mental part of the game, being affected there. Many sports outside of baseball, all physically demanding, need to be in shape, need to be exceptionally strong. Baseball, in my opinion, one of the more mental games. You don't need to be exceptionally strong. You don't need to be exceptionally, fast. You can get away with being a little slower, but, if you're not super tough mentally, able to fail more than you succeed, you'll never be a successful baseball player. I mean, most of the guys succeed 3 out of 10 times and are then put in the Hall of Fame. I can't imagine for these high school athletes, or college athletes.
But no, yeah, absolutely correct. I mean, everyone has their own personal expectations of what they feel like they're supposed to do, and then you have to adjust based on what happens. And as you said, some of the best players in the world that go 3 for 10 end up Hall of Famers. 3 for 10 out of every 10 at-bats. It's just a microcosm of how this game is and the mental fatigue that can take place over the course of games.
Argumentation between the Gyrene coach and the first base umpire.
And so as they figure out this situation, we are going to take a break. Loyola ahead 6-1.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
ready to resume play. Marcus Steen now at the plate for Loyola. The coach for the Gyrenes was incensed about a few different calls. He had some grievances to air to the umpire. Pick attempt here.
Absolutely. I mean, you see the emotions start to flare up, especially in the opening round championship game. A chance to loosen on the line, you know, down by 5. You're trying to get the calls that you think you should be getting, and, you know, if you disagree, he's just always arguing with them.
And that frustration rises as games go on, and if you fall down quickly, you're really putting a magnifying glass on every single play that happens, every single call that is made, because truthfully, you need every break that you can get. So when something doesn't go your way, it can definitely be very frustrating. And we've seen a little bit of that already, as we're going to see a stolen base opportunity here, and he is thrown out at second. That was the backstop, Cabeza. A perfect throw to help get the out. Manson tried to make his way in a scoring position. He gets thrown out, so now he heads back to the dugout. 2 men down for Loyola here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Popped up into the net and foul. Pitch from Johnson, swing and a miss. Strike 3 and out number 3. That's going to retire the side. Gyrenes, they continue to fight, giving themselves a chance. Wolfpack still out in front.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather.
Welcome back to Ken White Field here in Waleska, Georgia. You see a beautiful day of baseball. You see tempers flared up as we get set to start the top of the 6th.
Leading off for the Gyrenes, number 23, Jesus Gonzalez.
Jesus Gonzalez coming up to the plate for Ave Maria. He has played the role of hero on numerous occasions for the Gyrenes. Right now, Jesus Gonzalez wanting to help his team get off to a rally that they so desperately need, as we're here in the 6th inning. Gonzalez pops this one up. It's in the air, and it will be caught by Miles Liggins right over the line for out number 1. Gonzalez, who had been performing in a very stellar manner. Right now, 0
Now
for 3
batting
on the
number
day.
14, Tanner Kelly.
Tanner Kelly, the shortstop, he's 0 for 2 so far. And Ave Maria, they've been able to survive games when one of Jesus Gonzalez or Tanner Kelly's not having a great one, as this one is retrieved by Manson. Stepping on the bag is Bordez for route number 2. Kelly falls to 0 for 3 on the day. 2 batters have been retired by Bordez. But Ave Maria, they have been able to survive when one of Kelly and Gonzalez is not able to perform up to standard. It's really hard for them when both of their first team all-conference members aren't able to make their usual contributions at the plate.
Absolutely. Both of them falling to 2 quick outs. Lorenzo, if you're the coach, what are you telling these Gyrene players coming into these next 4 innings, trying to rally back a few runs together?
I'm not telling them anything. I'm reminding them of who we are. I'm letting them know about the times that we've been able to play against some of the best teams in the country, the wins against Weber, Southeastern, Hope International, and also this week being able to beat teams like Oakland City and Reinhardt. I'm reminding them that we're capable and we know that we can make it happen, but it will not happen here in this inning. That one was popped up into the air, caught by Miles Liggins. Side is retired. 3rd out is retrieved.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan.
NAIA opening round coverage here live on SCSN. There has been a pitching change made for Ave Maria. It's Isaac Hines, the right-hander, the senior from Redmond, Washington, formerly of Northwest Nazarene College in Idaho. So it's going to be Hines entrusted with the ball as Johnson's day is done. Drew Lee returns to the plate for Loyola.
Hines, the 5'10", 170-pound senior, delivers the pitch.
Lee pops it up, and it's going to be caught in the outfield by the Gyrenes for out number 1. That was the left fielder, Jones, making the grab. Fernandez next up to bat.
Now batting number 3, Anthony Fernandez.
Fernandez, originally from Miami, Florida, a criminology major.
So he should be pretty good at arguing, right? You would think.
Absolutely. His sophomore year in 24 made 22 appearances with 19 starts, hit .308 with 20 hits, 15 runs, 14 RBIs, and 4 doubles. So you see him sprayed around a little bit this week. What do you think is going on in his mind this at bat, being up by 5?
This at bat, you just want to try to put the ball in play. Just want to put the ball in play. Good things happen when you're able to do that. Anything happens when that ball can enter the field. We saw that when Ave Maria played Oakland City. I mean, the situation up 8-6, 1-2 count, putting that ball in play, hitting it right towards the second baseman, and he drops it. Now, if you don't take that leap of faith and just putting the ball in play, you never know.
Absolutely. You never know until you try.
Absolutely. And Fernandez makes his way to first. The man on for Loyola. They're trying to add some insurance. It's a 5-run advantage right now. The run rule is 10 runs after 7. Not really in danger just yet there, but Loyola can potentially put Ave Maria's backs firmly against the wall with a nice offensive showing here in this inning.
Fouled up and away.
Barat, the third baseman, back at the plate. 1 for 2 so far today. We're on the first. Just checking in, trying to make sure that he's comfortable over there. We know that Loyola very aggressive as a team when it comes to trying to get steals. And again, another check-in, not surprising. Trying to hold the base runner at bay. One attempt there, and it goes right in front of Cabeza, which means it will be called foul. Count is 0-2.
Brat in 24 made 50 starts, also winning the SSAC Freshman of the Year. Broke the school record for single season batting average at .432.
Count is now 1-2, and again, the run rule may not be something that you're thinking about here, but definitely wanting to add some insurance and extend that advantage. You know that Ave Maria, they're very capable of putting up runs in a hurry, but the more that you spend out in front of them, you can put more and more pressure on them. It will be interesting to say the least. Hines throws another ball here. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the board. Hines coming in, he needs to be able to maintain control of things on the mound. Strike number 3. He's able to strike out Barat there and pick up out number 2 to send us back to the top of the batting order for Loyola. Mooney, the second baseman, entering the batter's box.
Number 24,
He's 1 for 3 on the day. Brandon Mooney, a first-team All-SSAC team member. He's earned his place amongst the best players in the entire country, as we're going to see a steal attempt here. It will be successful. He thought about continuing to go. Instead, he will return to second. That was Fernandez, who headed from first to second, stealing, and that ball getting into shallow center field potentially could have allowed him to make his way to third. Good job by Loyola to hustle and keep him at second.
Yeah, you saw him peeking the pitcher. You know, he caught a common groove. He was pitching at a constant timing, you know, allowing that runner to steal the base, picking up his time, you know, very easily cruising into second.
Pitch a strike. And I like that, what you mentioned, common groove, and that's just being a heads-up player, understanding that it's coming out at the same time. It's almost like a snap count in football, where a defensive lineman is able to hear the cadence over and over and over again, and now they're jumping the snap count it's pretty much the same thing. It's reading your keys. So that's a nice job of Fernandez to do that and take advantage, getting himself in a scoring position. Mooney pops one up in the center field. It's in the air, and it's going to be caught for out number 3. Side is retired. Inning is over. Loyola still out in front.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
NCAA opening round coverage here live on SESN. The opening round championship, winner take all. Kyle Majdic lifts one into right field, going back along the wall. Great play by Miles Liggins to retrieve it. Falling into the wall, he's able to make the play and secure out number 1.
And a sensational play made by the right fielder. You saw him fully extending, getting up in the air, tracking the ball down, watching it fall in his glove.
Now batting number
Truly
4,
a hard play to make.
Michael Kelly.
And that's one way for us to return from break. That was a nice play there by Liggins. Could have been dangerous. That was a very well hit ball by Majdic. We've seen him go yard already one time here in Waleska. Miles Liggins robbing him there. Michael Kelly returns to the plate for the Gyrenes. And Kelly, very well hit ball, deep out to right field, over the wall, it's gone, we'll see you later. Michael Kelly, a solo shot that adds a run to the Gyrenes total.
In the absolute moonshot by Kelly, you see him catch every stitch of the baseball, sitting back, staying through the ball, exploding it to the right side of the field. And you see a little more life out of this Gyrene team.
Now batting number 13,
and you know,
Jordan
sometimes
Crawford.
it's just about you believing that you can do it and building that momentum. And you can tell that one play can spark belief within an entire team. You can now see everyone's on their feet. Everyone's starting to be a little bit more conversational. They're being chatty, starting to make their presence felt, their voices be heard. Ave Maria, they're starting to feel like they have a chance.
Absolutely. The energy is contagious. You can see it in this at-bat with these absolute beautiful swings being taken. A good swing on the ball, unfortunately caught by the center fielder.
Good swing on the ball, but yes, unfortunately for the Gyrenes, caught by Romero. Probably fortunate if you're a member of the Wolfpack that Romero was able to make that.
Now batting number 12, Sebastian Cabeza.
And unless you're reaching that point where Ave Maria, they have to start thinking about the end of this game and in need of some major momentum and real momentum. That solo home run adds a run to your total, but maybe not the best way for your team to build momentum at the plate. But that's one way to do it. Cabeza, a single, getting himself on board.
Absolutely, a quick short swing, straight up left center, excuse me. And we'll see a meeting at the mound.
That would likely mean the end of the day for Bordes, and Bordes was phenomenal for Loyola over the course of this game. There's going to be a pitching change made, and as that change is made, we're going to take a break.
Favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
NAIA opening round coverage here live on SCSN. The Loyola Wolfpack ahead 6-2 over the Ave Maria Gyrenes. It's going to be a new pitcher on the mound for Loyola. Bordes, his day is done. He was phenomenal over the course of this game. He really gave them a chance. You can tell that Ave Maria may try to get something going here. There is one man on the board, but also 2 outs in the tuck for Loyola. This one by Coffee popped up into the air, foul. This is Jimmy Coffee at the plate for Ave Maria. On the mound, Frank Fernandez for Loyola. The sophomore from Miami, Florida. That pitch in the dirt for ball number 2. Fernandez entering this game in a big spot for his team. Fernandez understands the situation. You know that he's going to try to lock down this final out. Ave Maria trying to spark a 2-out rally. Pitches low in the dirt. Another ball. Fernandez appeared earlier in the NAIA opening round in a few games over the course of this week. So someone that the coaches at Loyola absolutely trust. They believe in his ability to lead them out of certain spots and prevent damage from being done. That is exactly what he's being tasked with here. Fernandez, the pitch is low. It's in the dirt. It's ball number 4. Coffee's going to make his way to first. 2 runners in scoring position for the Gyrenes. This is where they have been incredibly effective all week long. with Kyle Van Leer coming up to the plate, and he's one of the main offenders in that case. Kyle Van Leer had an inside the park home run yesterday in one of the Gyrenes games. This a bunt attempt. The throw, is it in time? No, it is not. Bases are loaded for the Gyrenes. The danger zone here. Jesus Gonzalez coming up to the plate. He represents the tying run. Gonzalez has played hero on so many different occasions for Ave Maria. He hit the walk-off homer that allowed them to advance within that loser's bracket. You know that Gonzalez is going to try to give himself the best possible chance. His team trying to battle back. That pitch goes for a strike. Gonzalez watching it all week long. I've been very impressed with his approach. He's been very patient, but also aggressive when he sees something he likes, and that's exactly what happens here. He hits one that goes right down the middle. 1 run scores for Ave Maria. 2 runs score for Ave Maria. The Gyrenes add 2 runs to their total. Score is now 6-4 in favor of the Wolfpack, but here come the Gyrenes. Still 2 men on base, runners at the corners, with Tanner Kelly coming up to the plate, the other half of that first team all-conference duo. This is going to be interesting. Frank Fernandez surrendering 2 runs here. He needs to try to have short-term memory. It's all about securing that out, protecting the lead. That one gets around the catcher, Drew Lee, allowing Gonzalez to get himself in the scoring position. He's now at second. 2 runners in scoring position for Ave Maria. And this is the resiliency that we saw so many times before from the Gyrenes. It's coming up again here in the top of the 7th inning. 3 runs scored in this inning to allow them to cut the deficit to just 2 runs. We may have had an equipment malfunction with Tanner Kelly. He's going to re-enter the batter's box. It seems like everything's okay. Right now, Kelly's still searching for something. 0 for 3 so far today. That one drops for ball number 3. It's a 3-0 count. Another ball, and the bases will once again become loaded for the Ave Maria Gyrenes. Popped up into the air by Kelly in the right field. Liggins is underneath it. Liggins secures it. Out number 3. That retires the side. But Ave Maria able to add some runs to their total. It's now 6-4. The finish should be a lot of fun.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
NCAA opening round coverage here live on SESN. Ave Maria trailing against the Loyola Wolfpack. 6-4. Ave Maria scoring 3 runs in the top of this inning, trying to get themselves back into the ball game. That was a tremendous play over there from the third baseman, Coffey. He stumbled a little bit, but still made a nice throw in time for out number 1. Loyola. This is starting to look eerily similar to the game that we had yesterday between these two teams, where Loyola started off extremely hot. They went out to an early 5-run lead, and Ave Maria steadily chopped away at that lead and got themselves back into the ball game before pulling out in front. Now for Loyola to avoid that from happening again, they're going to need to find a way to get something going. It's been a struggle for them on offense, save for those 2 innings, the second and the third, where they scored each of their 6 runs. Isaac Hines remains on the mound for Ave Maria. That one was hit right towards Hines. He gets away from it, but Felix is able to make his way to first. Nobody was behind him. It goes straight dead down the middle, leaking into center field. Felix is safe at 1 man on for the Wolfpack.
Now batting number 7, Cole Romero.
Cole Romero now coming up to the plate. Romero, another player that Loyola needs to get going. He does not have a hit so far in this game. 0 for 3 on the day. Ave Maria, they're going to be down to their final 6 outs potentially in this game, so that will add to the sense of urgency for them. Meanwhile, if you're Loyola, you're thinking we need to give ourselves a chance to add some insurance runs to try to extend our advantage before Ave Maria is able to rally. And an infield conference here, likely something just to talk shop and strategy. I don't see anyone standing up in the dugout, so unlikely that a pitching change will happen. And as they conversate, we're going to take a break.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at SE.
Resuming play here at Ken White Field. 1 man on for Loyola, also 1 man away. Cole Romero remains at the plate, trying to get his first hit of the ball game. Swings and misses there, tried to get all of it. Instead gets none of it. Strike 1. for Loyola. Romero hits this one right towards Kelly. Chance for a double play. 4-6-3. They will turn 2 to retire the side and end the inning. Tremendous job by Ave Maria. And all of a sudden, this can get very, very interesting. Gyrene's trailing by 2 runs, but do up next.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
NAIA opening round coverage live on SESN. Right now, you guys are getting a view at the Ave Maria Gyrenes trying to work themselves back into this ball game. The score is 6-4 in favor of Loyola, but Ave Maria could be on the verge of a major rally. So the onus is going to fall in the hands of the Loyola Wolfpack to try to hold off this feisty bunch. Right now, we're at the point of the game where anything can go.
For the Wolfpack, number 28, Caden Durand.
New pitcher in the game for Loyola. It's number 28, Caden Durand. Caden Durand came in during the game against Reinhardt and performed valiantly. Came in the game against Oakland City and also stepped up. He played against Ave Maria yesterday, and it was a bit of a struggle for him at times. Ave Maria knocked him around a little bit. They were able to make something happen. Right now, he enters into the game trying to slow down this Gyrene lineup as they're down to their final 6 outs potentially. Score 6-4. Wolfpack clinging to a 2-run lead. A trip to Lewiston on the line. Caden Durand with the pitch. He goes for a strike. Dakota Jones at the plate. Jones, the native of Miramar, Florida. Fouls this one off. Jones 0 for 2 so far today. Jones has had some nice moments over the course of this week. He stepped up and made big hits for his squad. Popped up straight into the air. It's in the infield, and it's going to be corralled. That's Brandon Mooney, the second baseman, making the play. Out number 1 recorded for the Wolfpack.
Now batting number 38, Kyle Majdeech.
Kyle Majdeech coming up to the plate. Majdeech has had his moments over the course of this week. He has a single on the board that came in the 2nd inning. First pitch from Caden Durand is going to be a strike. Pardon me, it's going to be a ball. Counts 1-0. Majdeech, a ground ball, and it escapes the glove of the shortstop. Majdeech is safe at first, and that will likely be scored as an error on Loyola shortstop Fernandez. He tried to make that play, could not glove it up. 1 man on for Ave Maria. Now runners on bases where they have made their living
now
over these last few days.
Kelly.
Another chance to make something happen. They are 4 for 10 with runners on today, which is a little bit on the lower side for what they've done over the course of this week. Michael Kelly back at the plate for the Gyrenes. Kelly 2 for 3 so far in this game. Third consecutive game with multiple hits. But Kelly's going to draw 2 walks and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, disagreeing with both calls. You see him shaking his head towards the umpire. Nonetheless, down 0-2. Caden Durand readying. Caden Durand dealing. Swing and missed by Michael Kelly for strike 3, who had some words for the umpire. He was not happy with some of those calls. Less than enthused, I would say, is Michael Kelly right now as he heads to the dugout. Jordan Crawford, the first baseman, now coming into the batter's box. Ave Maria, they only have 4 total outs to work with. They need to try to make something happen. Crawford stands as the tying run, but Romero's going to be the one to secure the grab and retire the side. Crawford, 1 pitch, 1 out, 3 outs on the board. We shift gears to the bottom of the 8th. Ave Maria still down by 2. Loyola in need of trying to get some insurance.
I see some I never saw.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster.
NAIA opening round coverage here live on SCSN. And folks at home, you're getting a live look at the new pitcher on the mound for Ave Maria, number 29, Davis Blair, the grad student from Leawood, Kansas, formerly of Palm Beach Atlantic. He's going to be the new man on the mound as the Gyrenes need to retire the side as quickly as they can, looking to get themselves back into this ball game, currently trailing by just 2 runs. Meanwhile, Loyola trying to come up with some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Leading off the Wolfpack, number 9, Landon Manson.
This should be a lot of fun here. We're going to see a tremendous finish between these 2 squads. They have earned the right to fight for their spot in Lewiston. Landon Manson, the first baseman, swings and misses on the first pitch of the bottom of the 8th. Strike number 1. Loyola ahead by 2 runs. Manson again swinging for all of it, but gets none of it. Strike number 2. Both teams have fought so hard to get to this point, not just over the course of this week, but over the course of the entire season. That pitch high over the hands of Cabeza. Ball number 1.
Strike approach, bud.
You can tell Davis Blair is giving everything he has on that mound for the Gyrenes, trying to keep his team in it. Swing and a miss by Manson. Strike number 3, out number 1. First strikeout of the shift for Davis Blair. And Davis Blair, again, giving everything he has on the mound, and with good reason. It's now or never for these teams. Davis Blair trying to keep his team in striking distance. Marcus Steen, the designated hitter, now at the plate. He's shaking his head after being called strike 1. And now we've seen players on both teams not happy with the strike zone that the umpire has, but Steen lifts one in the right field, grounding first, and that is where he will remain. Steen gets on base with a single. Steen, second hit of the ball game.
Now batting number 34, Drew Lee.
10th overall hit of the game for the Loyola Wolfpack. Drew Lee, the backstop, coming up to the plate. Drew Lee quietly has been very consistent for this Wolfpack team over the course of this week, both at the plate and behind the plate. He's done it in a multitude of ways. Gold Glove recipient. Count 0-1. That ball bounces in front of Cabeza. He thought about making a throw over to second as Steen was looking to take advantage. Steen's going to make his way into scoring position. This is a great chance for Loyola to try to put something on the board here. Maybe bring in at least one more run for some insurance. And we're going to see two leaders, Cabeza and Kelly, come onto the mound to have a conversation with their pitcher. And again, a conversation just trying to make sure that he's completely locked in on the task at hand. There's already one out on the board. You just have to secure two more. You can tell that Davis Blair entered the game with a ton of enthusiasm, a ton of fire. He was ready as soon as he entered to just give it everything that he had. He got Manson out throwing probably harder than he ever has in his life. Right now, another passed ball leading to another base being taken. Steen from second to third, now in a threatening position. Davis Blair, you love the enthusiasm, you love the heart. Maybe you want to try to rein things back in. This one hit and fouled off. So we had an equipment malfunction here at Ken White Field. Not entirely sure how this occurred, and hopefully everyone's okay. So we're gonna get that figured out as play resumes on the field. Count is 2-2. Steen popping up a bunt. It goes right to Crawford. Crawford making a nice play in the infield. Steen goes down. 2 outs now on the board. And that was a great chance there for the Wolfpack to steal a run. Instead, they get nothing. Runners still in scoring position at third. But again, a perfectly laid down bunt could have been 1 run already across. That option is now taken away as Fernandez returns to the batter's box. Steen tried to lay down the bunt, but he aimed a little bit too high. That pitch, a strike. Count is 1-1. There's Steen ready to make his way. Just needs to be brought home by Fernandez, who pops one up high, deep out to center field. It's going back. It is gone. A big-time home run by Fernandez. Talk about some insurance. 2-run shot gives Loyola a 4-run lead here in the opening round championship game. It doesn't get much bigger than that, folks. You can feel the energy here at Ken White Field. The entire Loyola contingent on their feet. What a tremendous moment there for Fernandez and Loyola. Barat now up to bat. Barat 1 for 3 so far today. Those were 2 big runs, stretching out that lead a little bit further. Ave Maria, they're going to have to score their game high in runs in the next inning if they're going to win. And this inning isn't even over as this one is ripped into center field. Barat, his second hit of the game. He's safe at first. It has been a tremendous offensive performance for Loyola today. 11 hits so far in this game, 8 runs scored. As Brandon Mooney returns to the plate. And in Loyola's biggest games of the season, they have been able to rely on their talented lineup. We're seeing one of the biggest and best members of that lineup, Brandon Mooney at the plate, who's 1 for 4 so far in this game. It's been a true team effort so far. Count right now 1-0. Pitch over at 1, a check in, just trying to hold Barat at bay. Davis Blair came in with so much energy, so much fire, had to really rein things in. Instead, a big time 2-run shot by Fernandez allows Loyola to extend their lead. And now Mooney ahead on the count 3-0, likely to just watch this one go by him, make Blair throw him a strike. Blair, he's doing a nice job of throwing hard and fast, but the control and command have been not where he wants it to be as Brandon Mooney draws the walk. 2 men on for the Wolfpack, and we're going to have a mound visit. There will be a conversation here, and this time that conversation will include Ave Maria's coach. So a change is going to be made. We're going to take a break here.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
NAIA opening round championship coverage here on SESN. New man on the mound for the Gyrenes is going to be number 3, Luke Smolik, native of Monroe, Washington, formerly of Butler. He enters with 2 outs on the board. Ave Maria in need of just a single out to retire the side. Loyola's done a phenomenal job of adding some insurance courtesy of Fernandez. They're trying to spark a 2-out rally here and really get themselves going. As we're going to have a pinch hitter enter the game.
Now batting number 8, Colin Zarang.
Colin Zarang entering the batter's box for the first time during the NAIA opening round. What a major moment for him to come into. There is a runner in scoring position for Loyola. Barat is at second, so a base hit could potentially bring in another insurance run for the Wolfpack. Smolik trying to retire the side and secure this out. Swing and miss for strike number 2. Smolik on the verge of giving his team one last chance, one last breath. The pitch. It's low, it's inside for ball number 1. Loyola, 11 hits, 8 runs scored in this game. Offensive explosion. But a swing and a miss here for strike number 3. Smolik retires the side. He's fired up. We're fired up. Everyone's ready. How is this one going to end? We're going to see Loyola ahead 8-4.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
NAIA opening round coverage here live on SESN. Cabeza at the plate. Ave Maria down to their final 3 outs. Durand remains on the mound. Loyola on the verge of an NAIA World Series appearance. All they need to do is come up with 3 more outs, and they will find themselves in Lewiston. There's a lot on the line here. Both teams can feel it. Cabeza again has a home run that occurred earlier in this game, and Cabeza lifting another one deep out to left field. And it's going to be caught by Felix for out number 1. Down goes Cabeza. Ave Maria down to their final 2 outs. Coffee, the third baseman, coming up to the plate. Jimmy Coffee trying to make something happen here. He's 1 for 2 so far in this game. He was walked in his last plate appearance. This time he's going to see strike 1. Duran trying to hold on. Coffee hits one that drops into left center field. Coffee safe at first. Ave Maria getting a man on base.
Now batting number 22, Kyle Van Leer.
Kyle Van Leer coming up to the plate, center fielder. Kyle Van Leer 1 for 3 so far today. And Van Leer lifts one deep out to center field, and it will be caught by Romero for out number 2. A pair of loud outs from Ave Maria. Everyone in the entire park just standing up, waiting to see where it lands. Fortunately for Loyola, it stays in the friendly confines of Ken White Field. 2 outs on the board. Jesus Gonzalez getting ready to enter the batter's box. He played the role of hero for the Gyrenes in their game against Oakland City. What does he have in store for an encore? Caden Duran deals. That pitch is low. Ball number 1. That pitch called a ball, and Duran, he surely thought that one was going to be a strike. All comes down to this for Ave Maria, down to their final out in this game, and that one is hit right towards first base. The bag is stepped on. That's going to be it. The Loyola Wolfpack are moving on to Lewiston. They are going to compete for an NCAA World Series championship. They are officially the champions of the Waleska bracket. The Loyola Wolfpack, the 2 seed in Waleska, they emerge victorious and take it 8-4 over the Gyrenes.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at SE.
A celebration has taken place here at Ken White Field. The Loyola Wolfpack emerging victorious. Ave Maria, a tremendous run. They gave everything they had. It just was not meant to be this season for the Gyrenes, but a ton of credit to them for how they came out. They gave everything that they had. In the end, it's the Wolfpack coming out on top, emerging victorious. They're moving on. They're one of the 10 going to Lewiston. And from our entire crew here at SESN, from Gabriel Schrey, I'm Lorenzo Robinson, everyone who was a part of putting things together over the course of this week, we definitely appreciate you, and thank you to you, the fans, for tuning in. As we leave, it's the Loyola Wolfpack emerging from the Waleska bracket and winning 8-4, they ruled the day here in the NAIA opening round. Thank you for joining us.